I'm just starting recording. Okay.
Okay.
Atmaiva Bud Vijanata
Atmeva bhut vijnanatah
Tatra ko moha ka shoka
tatrika moha ka soka
ekadvam anupashyatah.
ekatam anupashyata.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, I'll try. I can't sing it like you. Yasmin sarvani bhutani
Yasmin savani bhutani
atmev iv abhut vijnanatah
Atmaiva Buddha Janata
tatriko moha ka soka
Tatra ko moha ka shoka
ekatvam anupashyata.
ekadvam anupashyata. Very good. In a few years, it'll just be flying off your tongue.
Yeah,
It'll just be,
I'm reading it. I like, yeah. I was
be-
trying to, yeah, it's, yeah, trying to learn, yeah, but not good. I think it's still pronunciation is way off.
but it's all practice, right? Everything.
Yeah.
So same with spiritual activities. We have to practice that. You know, like if you do the same material activity for a very long time, you get really good. I'm sure, like your work, you could probably do it blindfolded and like that. You know, just automatically you can do it.
Yeah.
You know, like driving a car or something. After some years, you know, you get really good and or whatever it is. So same with like learning Sanskrit. If you just keep at it, then you just get better and better. But the main thing is that we try our best, and then Krishna, he's in our heart, of course, Paramatma, and he knows we're trying hard, and he appreciates that. Even like parents, right? Even though your children, they might try to do something like ride a bicycle, and they might not do a very good job of it. They might fall off and do so many things. But your parents, the parents are really happy that they're just trying their best, you know, and it doesn't matter whether they're really successful or not. Even if they fail, it's not really a failure. But the parents are just so happy that they're trying. So we don't have to really, and that's one of the themes of the Bhagavad Gita also, that we just try to do our duty the best we can, but we shouldn't worry about the outcome, the result. And that's what really stuffs us up. We get so attached to a particular result. It has to turn out perfectly. Otherwise, you know, it's terrible and we're very sad and depressed and everything like that. But in Krishna consciousness, there's no failure. It's always a success as long as we're trying our best. And Krishna knows that. And that's the main thing. That's the result that we're trying to get, is just to please Krishna. That's all. We're not aiming for any particular results, other than we just want to make Krishna happy. That's it. We want to please him, and if he's happy, that's success. You know, just like if the parents are happy, that's success for the children. You know, and like I said, the parents are happy even if the child the art that the child's doing doesn't look very good, or the bicycle they fall off and whatever, but just the fact that they're trying, you know.
So it's the same blueprint as, you know, I think very good example. So the same blueprint actually applies to Lord as well. So we are the children. So I mean, that's, yeah. So it's not much different. We are actually, it's very parallel. I mean, it's similar. I mean, and knowing that makes it, yeah, better. And I like the word you say now. You know, Krishna willing. That's pretty. I mean, good. I was actually talking to one of my colleagues. I think if you know, the Muslims, they have a word called Inshallah. means God willing.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
universal
a, yeah,
principle.
that's
Because
I mean,
Huh? Because as you know, we're always making so many plans. I will do this, and then I will do that, and then this will happen. But that's
but we
not
don't.
fully the case, you know. Many times, as you know, our plans don't work out. We of course everyone wants to become rich and famous and powerful and everything, and it happens for a few people, but most people it doesn't. But everyone wants it, so there's a lot of factors involved in whether our plans get fulfilled. Do we have the karma? Do we have the past punya to be eligible to get what we want? Is what we desire, is it fitting in with the plan of God? Does he actually want it to happen, or is he going to allow it to happen? If he doesn't want that particular thing to happen, then it doesn't matter what we do, it's never going to happen. So many, we learnt that from persons like Prabhupada and others. They would always say, oh, I'm going to go there, Krishna willing, or I'm going to do that, Krishna willing.
And that's so
You know,
true. Yeah, that's so true. And number two, I think mantra number two say you are not controller. So it's like you can do, and so many variables which are not in your control. You might think you want to do something, but you think that it's only your effort which is basically going to bring the result, but it's not. There's so many other factors which you are not even aware of.
I mean,
So
one factor is COVID, right? I mean, how
yeah,
many people's plans has that stuffed up? I mean,
yeah,
like billions of plans have just been flattened because
that's
of
right.
one little bug. You can't even see it. You can't even
Yeah,
see it.
exactly.
And it's like mucked up so many people's lives, and all their plans are spoiled. And I mean, it's just, businesses had big objectives, we have to expand this and do this and build this. And now it's a completely different scenario, as you know. And like, one guy was telling me the other day, his company he works for, they built their own tailor-made according to their needs, a big skyscraper to accommodate all their staff.
Mm.
But now after COVID, everyone wants to work from home and everything like that, and then no one likes coming to the office. And they've got this big empty building, and they've got a massive debt. They have to pay obviously so much money and everything to pay it back. And now all this, there's no one there, and they're wondering what to do. And it's like really just mucked up. All their plans have just been turned upside down. So there's a saying, right? Man proposes, God disposes. So all we're doing, we're making a proposition, or means, you're putting forward your idea, your desire. But for that desire to be fulfilled or whatever, that is only given by God. That disposes means to give it. So we're just putting forward an idea, but whether it actually manifests or not is completely in the hands of the controller. Like you quoted from that beginning of Isopanisad, Ishavasamidam Savam, he's in control of everything. So we have to be, I mean, we should be a little bit humble, and, it takes humility. We have to realize we're not in control. I mean, of course we would like to be, but that's not the reality. In reality, we're not the controller. But actually, we should be happy to not be the controller. And just fully, the alternative to being the controller, which obviously we're not, is to recognize we're completely helpless and we're depending on his mercy. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the good news is, see, that if the person that was controlling everyone was a really bad guy or girl, then that's a real bummer.
Mm.
We're gonna, it's a really horrible. But if the person controlling us is very good or very kind, very merciful like that, then that's fantastic. You know, children are helpless, right? A baby is very helpless when they're at the baby stage. And that's not a problem as long as the parents are there, and the parents are obviously love the child, and they're going to take care of all the needs of the child, no problem. Of course, if you had bad parents, and you're helpless and you're under them, that's no good. But I mean, generally, parents obviously love their kids and are well wishers of the kids, and that's a good life. It's not, would any child say, oh, it's terrible having parents over me, controlling me, dominating me? No, children generally wouldn't think like that, because they've got a good life. They don't have to do anything really. The parents are organizing a place, a roof over their head, food on the table, clean clothes, and do everything for them, arrange education and everything. And they really don't have to worry about anything, really. Of course, when the children leave the home, that's when they have to fend for themselves. And many, teenagers or whatever find that a great struggle, that transition, when they leave their parents' shelter, and then they have to organize everything for themselves and fend for themselves and protect themselves and everything. And some children, that becomes a very traumatic situation.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's true. If you have an experience, that's part of life, I guess. But yes, as you're saying, when they were kid, they don't have to worry about anything, and then you have to go. That's it. So, mm,
So
that's,
we are in God's hands, whether we like it or not. But if we understand that and accept that fact, and then realize how merciful and kind He is, and then we can feel great relief from all the anxieties and fears and everything like that, and just accept that whatever happens is His will, and not have any anxiety or stress about that. Okay, if I had a plan, it didn't work out. Okay, He doesn't want it to happen. That must be the best thing for me. Maybe if I had done that, then I'll tell you one story that comes to mind. That there was one family. And this is going back, I think, the early 1900s. And they had this plan. We're all going to go on a family holiday on a ship, and they saved up for years to go on this, to put money aside every week to go on this holiday. It was a big family, I think, two parents and a lot of kids, and a big holiday. And there was a new ship that had been built, the biggest ship ever. It was called the Titanic.
oh,
And
okay.
they had booked the tickets and everything like that, booked the tickets, and they were so excited. They're going to go on this glorious ship, and the best ship in the world, can't be sunk, impossible to sink and everything. And then at the last minute, one of the family got sick, and they couldn't go on the boat. They had to cancel the trip, and they were just feeling so depressed, so morose, that why this happened? This is terrible. And then, of course, a few days later, the blimmin' ship sunk, and they thought, "Oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad this didn't happen." So like that, if something doesn't happen, we should see it like that. It's not good for us. It's not good for us. And Krishna's, saved us from something that would have been, worse like that. So I mean, if we didn't get the job, or, we didn't pass the exams, or the relationship with the girlfriend or whatever didn't work out, or whatever like that, that we should see that we didn't get the promotion or whatever. We should just say, thank you, Krishna. I
Yeah,
wanted that to happen,
I think,
thank,
yeah, that's
you know,
pretty good.
because that's the two choices, right? You either get, damn, why is this? You get angry and frustrated, and why I'm not getting this, or you can take it the other way. No, thank you. I wanted that, it didn't happen. It must be your will, and it could have been, bad if this had happened. So, thank you for saving me from that. And I accept, where I am now. I'm satisfied. If you don't want me to go this way or that way, no worries. So like that, just a different way of looking at the same situation, but how you're going to respond to it. So that's what we're looking at. And even a lot of really successful people, they've written in books and everything about it. You have no control. And this is also Krishna consciousness, Vedic philosophy also, that a lot of successful people, some people have figured it out. But that you have no, you know, freedom and all in the actions that take place in your life. No control over that. But where we do have some control and freedom is how we respond to the situation. You can't control the situation, but where you have some minute free choice is how you're going to respond to it. That's exciting, because that's where you can really make a difference in your life, is how you respond to all these situations that happen, the success, the failure, the victory, the defeat, the promotion, the demotion, whatever like that. All these different, the health, the sickness. You don't have any control whether you're healthy or sick, not much, but how are you going to respond to being healthy, or how you're going to respond to being sick, or if someone criticizes you, you don't have any control over that. Someone came up to you and just said, "You're an idiot, you're a moron, you're a fool," or whatever. But what you do have control over is how you're going to respond to that. You're going to get angry. Okay, that's one response. You have some choice over, whether you're going to do that, or whether you're just going to accept it, as for your purification. Okay, this is helping me more humble and tolerant, and like that. So to develop tolerance or whatever, and you're going to have a completely different destiny. Your future will become completely different according to how you respond. Did you make that choice or that choice? And that's powerful. That's where our power is, in that free choice. How are you going to respond to those different situations in life?
But do you think, in terms of, if you have choice, you take decisions based on this, still, he's still in control. Things, as you said, very good point is that we are very myopic, short-sighted. Something
Yeah,
bad happens to us, we are
yeah,
reacting to that. But in
yeah,
long term, if he's doing it, he's taking care of everything. So he must be doing something good for you. You have to trust him. You have to surrender, as you said,
yeah.
because that's the part where things out of your control, things you can't control, he can control only, and he's guiding you. Even if it looks, from material perspective, it looks, oh, what trouble I'm in, or why this happened to me. You have to take it. And if you go back in your life, I think you look at some of the times where you felt really bad, and then think about that. So if that had happened, I wouldn't be here or something. So you always, after some time, you find out something positive. It
Mm,
was good for me. So I think that's positive way of looking at things is pretty good, and that's truth. I think, because you are not in 100% control, and he is guiding you. He is taking care of you, even if you don't have to work so hard to change things in your life. I think
mm.
yeah. So that's very, very good point. All the problems, all the mental problems will be gone if you surrender into himself, because all anxiety and everything is because you think you're doing it. You're
Yeah,
responsible for each and everything. And then when
that's
you do that,
it's
you're
like
going to,
we're putting a
yeah,
big weight on our
yeah,
shoulders, a big
that's
heavy
right.
burden. Sanskrit is called baram. Baram means like a burden.
Bharam, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're taking on all that responsibility on our own shoulders, but actually, if we are fully Krishna conscious, we understand that the responsibility is with God, because He's the one making the arrangements. And then that's really stress free. You got nothing on your shoulder.
And yeah, I just think about that. You just keep doing what you're doing, and then don't worry about what's happening. Um, just you have to have some kind bit of patience, go through it, even if you don't understand, because it's very hard to understand when something is going wrong. You have to just keep going. I think that's what it is. Be positive, and
Yeah,
if you know that it's all good, then it's all
yeah,
good. Yeah, if you understand that. So if everybody does that, it'll be a very good place. If
yeah,
you think like that,
yeah.
not
So that's it. Change of consciousness, and that's why we're reading Sri Isopanisad, to try to
trying to get there, I guess.
consciousness.
Yeah.
You're okay, you want to read the translation?
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What and then can be illusion or anxiety for him?
So we're just talking about that
Mm.
you can become free from anxiety by seeing that He's in control of everything, and just letting go of that illusion that we're thinking we're in control, it relieves us so much anxiety. So here's another thing that can help relieve us of anxiety. If we see every living thing as a spiritual spark, as a spiritual soul, that will also take away so much anxiety and illusion, of course, because that is the illusion, that we're thinking that we're the body, and we're thinking that others are their body.
And we are different. Yeah.
And that can be realized. I mean, like at the time of death, we realize that unknowingly, unconsciously. When someone dies, right, generally what happens is we say, Fred's gone, or my uncle's gone, my nephew's gone, my mate's gone. But what's gone? Really? I mean, the body of the person is there in front of you, right? The body is there. But we say intuitively, instinctively, we say that my mum's gone, my uncle's gone. So, but what's gone? You understand what I'm saying? We automatically come out with they're gone, but the body's there. But so what are you saying is gone?
What is gone? Yeah, I mean, yeah. So in a way, you are accepting basically that something is there, the soul is there, or something is gone because the body is not. That means you are not the body. Basically, that's
Yeah,
just
right. Because the entire body is there. Nothing from the body is gone. The leg hasn't gone. The arm, the head hasn't gone. The whole body from the toe to the head is right there in front of you, whether it's like in a box or whatever like that on a funeral fire. But the whole body is there. But immediately when someone dies, say they're gone. So what is it? And, and it's sort of deep within. We know there's something more than the body, but consciously we're not really prepared to accept that. So they're actually the person that we had the relationship, we never even saw them, isn't it? We never actually saw the real person. All we saw was their dress. It's like if I did, right? Like you're never really seeing me. You're just seeing the covering. Does that make sense?
Yes, I mean, yeah, that's very true. Even if they are saying my mom is gone, what? But they still don't understand. I think maybe not 99% of people what they are saying. My God, they never think about that. What am I saying? My mom is gone. That means mom is not body. She is something else. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so. I mean,
I mean,
that's.
you could tell them, no,
Mm,
what are you saying? Your mum's right there. I can see her. She's right there.
yes,
But they're going to say, no, she's gone. She's gone. You know,
yeah,
so that's interesting. So deep down, there is that understanding there that there is a person separate from the body.
yeah.
Body's just a vehicle for the soul. It's just a dress for the soul. And that we should understand, and then we'll get free from illusion, and then also the illusion of our own death, that we won't be an illusion about our own existence, that we're all afraid about our own death and mortality, and the anxiety that comes from that illusion. See, from when we're in illusion like that, thinking that we're the body and other people are the body, then that creates anxiety, that illusion. This is an alternative here, an alternative way to see things, rather than see in an illusory way that we're the body, others are the body, and then being an anxiety about that. Then we can see that every living entity, including ourselves, we are the eternal soul, and the soul has no birth, no death. It's not affected by old age, by disease. It's not affected by COVID, coronavirus, or anything like that. It's not affected by heart attacks, by cancer, by earthquakes, by starvation, or anything at all. And Krishna says it cannot be cut by any weapons, cannot be burnt by fire, cannot be drowned in the water, cannot be withered in the wind. It's immortal, invincible, like that. Then you get, once you have that knowledge, then immediately you snap out of illusion. And that's what brings us out of illusion, is this knowledge, which we're getting from the scriptures. which we're getting from the scriptures. We get this knowledge in coming through the spiritual master, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, that we're not the body, that we're a spirit soul. And then if you see in that light that we're not the body, that we're the soul, and that every soul, like it's mentioned here, is in quality one with the Lord, and that's a real knowledgeable person. That's a person in real knowledge. So I mean, you might have so many scientists and university professors and great scholars and everything like that, but if they're thinking that they're the body, and if they're thinking that others are also their body, they're actually the most ignorant persons. They're an illusion. But someone who's not a scientist and he's not a teacher or anything, university person or anything like that, and they might not even have much academic education. However, if they know that they're not the body, they're the soul, they're actually much more learned. We call it vidvan, vidvan, or a brahmana. A brahmana means one who knows Brahman, right? You know, what does it mean to be a Brahmin? If someone says, oh, I am a Brahmin, I am come from the Brahmin caste, you know, but if they are thinking they're the body, then actually they're in Maya, they're an illusion. If they're thinking, you know, I am a Brahmin, or I am a Kshatriya, I am a Vaishya, I'm a Sudra, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm black, I'm white, I'm Indian, I'm Kiwi, I'm Aussie. This is all bodily consciousness. That's all illusion. Actually, we're not a Brahmin. You know, the Brahmin is the designation for the body, right? I am born in a Brahmin family, or I am born in a, you know, a Vaishya family or Sudra family. That's just bodily designation. But actually, a true Brahmin knows I'm not even really a Brahmana. You know, I'm a spirit soul. So one who has that knowledge is called a Brahmin, or a Vidvan. You know, a very learned person. Or we say the word pundit. That's what it means. We say, oh, this is so and so Panditji. You know, so pundit means very learned person. So this is what it means to be learned, or truly educated, to have this knowledge that we're not the body, we're spirit souls, and every spirit soul is qualitatively one with the Lord. Means we're part and parcel. The soul is part and parcel of the Lord. In the 15th chapter, 7th verse, Krishna says, Mamai Vamso Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That the souls, the Jiva Bhuta, are Sanatana. They're eternal, and they're Mamai Amsha. Amsha means part. Amsha. Amsh means part. Amsha. So that we're part of him, because he says mama, means mama, my part. They're part of me. So in one sense, you could say that we are Krishna, because we're part of Krishna. You know, that, like this hand, right? I could say that this hand is me. Yeah, that's true, but in one sense, it's not the whole me. It's part of me. So we're not the full Krishna, but we're a tiny part of Krishna. And so it's saying here qualitatively, we're one with God, but the difference that we are is in quantity. So in quality, we're the same as Krishna. We're nothing other than Krishna. But the quantity is different to Krishna. We're a tiny part of Krishna. We're not the whole. We're not the vibhu, means the great, the whole entirety, the greatness. But we're the anu. Anu means we're very tiny. Like the atom in Sanskrit is called anu, anur. So we're like atomic in size. We're very minute. So, you know, it's like you could say this ear, right? This ear is a bai. This is a bai, you know, but it's nothing other than a bai. you know, but in another sense, the ear is only part. It's not the whole of I. It's only part of. Whereas Krishna is the whole, and we're only a part. But we're an inseparable part. We're an inseparable. Like that's why Prabhupada, you'll read many times, Prabhupada says that the soul is part and parcel. Now, it's interesting to think more deeply about that. Why doesn't Prabhupada say we're only part of Krishna? Why does he add we're part and parcel? Do you know what parcel? What does it mean, parcel?
I think I was trying to understand that part. I think it's the important part of something. You know, it's you cannot have the whole without it, or something like that. It's like it's essential part of something. You know, it's not.
Parcel, the word parcel is like package. Means it's there's a few things there, and it's all together. It's all together. You know, you have some, like I just bought this torch, right? This is a parcel. So there's a torch, and then there's the packaging.
Yeah.
So it's all together. It's not just one thing. It's quite a few things. And then there's the torch, there's the battery, there's the instructions, and then there's the outer covering. But this is all what we call, all that together, we call that a parcel. It's all together. You can't separate it. This is all together. So that what Prabhupada is saying is that we're not only, because it's not like that you know, Krishna is there and then I am here and there's a big gap in between, right? That's separated. Separated part. We are parcel. And so you get that? Soul and the Supreme, you can't separate them. Even like we're saying, right? That you know, Krishna is supplying us everything that we need. You know, we need water, and Krishna's providing that water and air and food, and our own bodies are made of earth and water and so many things, which are Krishna's energies. And also Krishna's within our body is Paramatma. He's right there. So we're just so intimately united with Krishna at every moment. There's nothing other than Krishna, and we're just all in that. And yet we're still individual. It's not that everything, you know, it's like, although this is all together, but it's not really just one thing. It's an item.
In material sense, it's not physical. It's more than that, or maybe, I mean, it's basically inconceivable. But we are part together. We are not separate. I mean, we are not a separate entity from the God. We are part of God. Yeah. But I think we cannot visualize it, because materially we can't visualize it, because we think as, you know, separate part, but it's not separate. That's what part and parcel means. We are essential part of, you know, together. I think that's what he's saying. Not separate existence.
So you're together. So although you're together, you still maintain your individuality. Like it all comes together, and then it's only one thing, not many things. No, it's all many things coming together, but they still maintain. Like when you look at the sea, the ocean, it looks like you're just looking at one thing, right? Just that flat ocean, right? But actually, if you had more knowledge, you would be able to see that there's all fish in the ocean. There's sharks and whales and squids, and there's small fish and big fish. So it looks like there's just a oneness there, and no variety. But actually, there is so much variety there within the ocean. So if a bird flies into a tree, what happens?
Well, you can't see, probably it becomes part of the tree, or it's, you know.
Does that mean the bird becomes the tree?
No,
It flew into the tree and the bird becomes the tree?
No, it
No.
doesn't become, but yeah.
But yeah, it looks like the bird is merged tree. Merged tree, but actually the bird is still there. So it's like that. That even like say the rivers flow into the ocean. But though it looks like the river has merged with the ocean, but actually those particles of water of the river are still separately existing, but within the ocean. So it's like that. That qualitatively we are one with God, but quantitatively we're different, and that we always maintain our individuality. But all we're trying to achieve is becoming conscious of that very intimate relationship we have with the Supreme. Now, we are intimately related with the Supreme right now, even though we're in illusion. So we've forgotten that relationship, but the relationship is still there. So Krishna consciousness means reviving that forgotten relationship with the Supreme. Like I said, all the material elements that this whole material world is made of is energy of God. And there's no difference, and that's what one thing Prabhupada's going to talk about in the purport. There's no difference between God's energy and God.
Energy and energetics.
The sunlight and the sun, are they different?
Well,
Right, same.
not because the source, the source is sun. So,
well, what is the sunlight made out of?
Energy of sun, obviously, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the sun.
Yeah.
So in quality, sunlight and the sun planet is the same. But there is a difference also at the same time. And that difference is in quantity. The sunlight is a very small part of the sun. It's not the whole sun.
Whole sun, yeah.
When you open your curtains in the morning, the sun comes into your room, right? We say that, right? Oh, the sun's coming in my room, but not really.
Not really. You don't want that.
If the sun comes in your room, you don't have a room anymore. And you don't exist in the room anymore because you'll be burnt to pieces. So we say the sun has come into the room. So, I mean, in one sense, that's true. The sunlight has come in the room, but the whole planet hasn't come in your room. Just a tiny part of the sun has come in your room. But there's no, so this is called Achintya Beta Beta Tattva, this philosophy. This is a philosophy that Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, actually the full name is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we come in a disciplic succession, which originally comes from Krishna speaking to Brahma, and Brahma is passing that knowledge down. And one of the main acharyas or teachers in our line, it was called Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya is one of the main acharyas in our line. And also we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he appeared in the eastern part of India called Gaudadesh, eastern part of India. So we're called Gaudiya. So coming from that eastern part of India. And Vaishnava means a devotee, a servant of Vishnu, is called servant of Vishnu. So we're called Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Sampradayas. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he presented the philosophy called Achintya Beta Beta Tattva, which means inconceivably, Achintya means inconceivable. It means very hard to understand. How that at the same time, simultaneously, means at the same time, we are Beta Abeta, means we are one with God and different to God at the same time. And that's our philosophy, which is called Tattva. Tattva means the philosophy. So that is the philosophy. Simultaneously, or inconceivably, we are at the same time, simultaneously, one with God and different to God. So the oneness, what is the oneness? In quality. But the difference is in quantity. And the Mayavadis or impersonalists, they only think in terms of oneness. They don't see any difference. They only see oneness. And their philosophy is called Advaitavad. So they are Advaitas or Advaitavad. That there is just oneness.
Oneness.
The Vaishnava philosophy is simultaneous oneness with difference also. And it's that is explained to be the most complete and perfect philosophy. There's also another philosophy called Dvaitavad. So there's Advaitavad, oneness, and there's Dvaitavad. Dvaitavad means we're different to God.
Oh, okay.
There's no explanation of oneness in that philosophy, that we're qualitatively one with God. There's only an explanation that we are different to God. So one philosophy says we are one with God. Another philosophy says we are different to God, and our philosophy is that we are one with and different at the same time.
Very good. I mean, yeah. That was very nice. Yeah. Now I can understand Advaita, and and God Vishnu. That's good.
Okay, so this kind of, and you could say, well, who cares? Who cares whether we're one with God, or who cares that about seeing every living thing as the soul? What does it really matter whether you see the body or whether you see the soul? What does it really matter? But here we can understand the importance of it, because it's saying here that if you see in this way with this knowledge, then you won't be in illusion and you won't be in anxiety. So you could understand by this statement that if you don't have this knowledge, you will be in illusion. And as a result of that, you will be in anxiety. And I think everyone will care about that.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense totally. If you think you are separate from God, then all the problem starts, right? I mean,
So, and of course we do care about that, because who wants to be in anxiety? Basically, who wants to suffer? I mean, put up your hand if you want to suffer. No one's going to do that. So, but the cause of that is being an illusion, which basically means we're ignorant. We don't have the knowledge. We are ignorant. We've seen things in the wrong way, and as a result of that, we're always in anxiety. So the solution is, if you don't want to be in anxiety, then don't be an illusion. And don't be an illusion means you need knowledge. And what is that knowledge? That you have to learn to see yourself and others as the soul. And that's why it's so important. So anyone that says, I don't care about God, I don't care about the soul, I'm happy the way I am, is an idiot, basically. And I mean, that's their choice. Like I said, I mean, that's your choice how you respond.
yeah,
If
that's
you
good.
that, that I don't give a stuff about this philosophy, of the soul and God and everything, okay, that's your choice. But this is what I'm saying is, according to how we respond, there will be a reaction. Opposite reaction, it's Newton's law. So that's a natural law. You can't escape that. If you want to respond by keeping an illusion, that's your choice. But then there's going to be a reaction to that, and the reaction is here, that you're going to be in anxiety. And if you're going to respond and seeing others as a spiritual being, there will be a reaction to that, and the reaction is that you will get free from anxiety. And for me, I think, well, that's pretty good. I'd rather take this option.
Yeah,
If
what
it's
you want, I mean, yeah.
anxiety, I'd rather have the without the anxiety. And I've seen that in my life, and I've seen in others, that when you change your vision like this, so much anxiety just goes away, and that's good. I'm happy with that result. I think most sane people would be. But
I think, yeah, I mean, the right knowledge that's what is lacking. I think, I mean, that's where people don't have the. I think there's a word used, your constitutional position. The word constitutional position is used in Bhagavad Gita translations. That's where understanding what is your position, what is your context, where are you, why you are here supposed to be, and how you can actually be living your life in a such a way, with a purpose. But if you don't know, like, if you don't know your constitutional position, you think I'm the God, I can do everything, then that's bad luck. I mean, that's what we do. We do everything, and we make ourselves responsible,
Yeah.
even though we are not in 100% control. So, I mean, we are taking all the things on ourselves because we don't know, as you said, we don't have the knowledge of our constitutional position. We don't know that we are part and parcel of Him. That's we are not in control. So that's the cause of all anxiety and problems.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
not,
it's a paradigm shift. You said, if you start thinking that way, that's it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's what we want to achieve. But I don't know. Yeah, it's trying.
yeah, it's just that shift of consciousness. And it's not saying you to get free from anxiety, you have to quit your job and leave your family and like that. It's just saying you have to just see things differently. So you can externally keep everything exactly the same. You- The only thing we're changing is our vision, how we're seeing things. And that's really cool because that's something that anyone can do. It's not very difficult.
Mm.
If you want to, your job and, or leave your family or something like that, all these kind of things are very difficult, or change your studies, your education, or go and move to a different country or something. All these things are big upheavals and so much, problem. But this is not saying you have to do any of this. Some people think the reason why I'm suffering is because of my family, or the reason why I'm suffering is because of my job, or the reason why I'm suffering is because of the country I'm living in. But actually, no, this is saying the reason why you're suffering is because you're seeing things in the wrong way. So,
Yeah.
just that adjustment, we make that, and we'll notice that so many of the problems, they just go away.
Yeah, I think, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the way you respond because you have the right knowledge. Now you're responding differently. I mean, yeah, it's, as you're saying, it's from my point of view, I don't think it's easy. I've been doing it for a long time, so I mean, though I understand that, but in real life, to put it into practice, it's difficult and slow. I don't know. I mean, it'll take some time, I guess.
Yeah, we that is accepted. That is accepted. And why is it difficult? Because we have been conditioned. Like many times you'll read that, right? We're conditioned souls.
Yeah.
So we've been so habituated and accustomed to acting in a particular mindset and consciousness, not only for this life, but for millions of lifetimes, at thinking we're the controller, we're the enjoyer, we're the provider, all these kind of things, big false ego and everything, so much pride and everything.
Mm.
So that takes time to break that down. That we're the center of the universe, everything revolves around us, and like that, we're controlling and enjoying. So that takes time to break that down. But every day you keep hearing this knowledge, you're chipping away at that ignorance,
Mm.
because our whole foundation of our life is built up on this ignorance.
Yeah.
A wrong understanding of, like we say, our constitutional position. We've got what it is, and it takes time to break down that wrong equation.
Mm.
It's like we started off millions of years ago, 1 + 1 = 3.
Mm.
And then we've continued that times 4,
Mm. Mm.
divided by 5. So our calculation, and we've got so far off track. Now we have to find out where we went wrong and get back to that 3. So but
Yeah.
the good news is that, like I said, God is so kind, and his representative, also the spiritual master, is so kind, and they are very, not only kind, but they're very powerful, and they can help to snap us out of the illusion. All we have to do is submit to this hearing process, and this is the foundation of the Vedic culture. is we have to hear from the bona fide authority, the Shastra and the Sadhu and Guru. So we have to, if we submit, and that's our free choice, you don't have to do that. But if we have a little bit of faith that what's there to lose? I'm suffering so much. I'm in so much anxiety. I can't get any worse. I can't go down any further. I try and just listen to what the Guru is saying, to what the scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita is saying. What have I got to lose? And they're not charging me, is it? They're not charging $100 an hour. You have to pay $100 an hour to hear Bhagavad Gita. So you're not losing any. A little bit of time, but not you don't have to give up your whole 24 hours. But even for 5 minutes a day, or half an hour or whatever, and there's nothing to lose. What are we doing with our time anyway? Usually it's either sleeping or watching TV or just surfing the internet on Facebook. It's not like we're doing wonderful things with our time, so half an hour of that, what's the big deal, And then if there is a possibility, even if it's 1%, that we can get free from anxiety, why not?
Not, yeah. I mean, that's what else you want. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, yeah.
This is the science, right? That you have a theory. I mean, that's what science is, right? You don't know, right? And you have a theory, but you got to make the experiment. Otherwise, that's not science. If you're not prepared to make the experiment, then how are you going to find out a result if you're not even prepared to put this theory to the test? Putting the theory to the test is that you have to make an experiment. And then only then, you can't get a result in science without performing the experiment. We know that, right? You're always going to be just stuck with a theory. So if you want to actually find out what's the truth, then you have to, put the theory to the test. And experiment, and that's exactly the same with that, and that we just call this a spiritual science. So this is the theory that we are spiritual sparks of the supreme whole. So we don't have to just blindly accept that, but we're putting it to the test, and there are tests, and as there is an experiment, and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha mantra, that's part of the experiment. And avoiding sinful activities, meat eating, intoxication, and so forth. That's part of the experiment. And hearing from the scriptural authority, that's part of the experiment. And like that, this is all part of the experiment. And as you go along, as you do with any experiment, you start to get results. And if some of those results are you're getting free from anxiety, I think that's a damn good one.
Yeah. I think, I mean, if you say somebody, I mean, I've got a potion or a tablet which can get rid of anxiety, people will go for it, right? I mean, who is not affected by anxiety nowadays? Everyone is under pressure, that's so. I mean, but if somebody gives you, say, you don't need a pill, you don't need a potion, you just need to know knowledge and a bit of experimentation with the knowledge coming from some authoritative source, from God Himself, is telling you this is the way.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we should follow it. I mean, even though I'm saying it, I'm not 100% follow it, but I'm trying. I mean, but that's as I said, we don't have the complete knowledge. We are looking for solution in the material world, which is not good. You look for, you're trying to find vaccine, medicine, but that's not the real answer. I think these are the impact of what we have been doing. If we had the right platform, that is spiritual platform, everything should fall in place. That should be the right way. I mean, that's the right way of living, isn't it? Going spiritual rather than living materialistically. So we are living a wrong way. We are focusing on material, but we should be more spiritual, more knowledge, the real knowledge. As you said, a university professor has material knowledge. He's just talking about what's there, but he doesn't have the big picture. Then he's not a pandit or a vidwan, whatever you said. He's not real knowledge. But a person who doesn't have any university education, but he understands the concept, according to us, he is the real vidwan because he understands his real position. I mean, we are approaching it wrong way. I think that's what it is, and that's what Krishna consciousness is doing. It's trying to wake up the spiritual side. That's the right way of going and solving the problem.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how I took to this path is when I first met a Hare Krishna, my experience was from just meeting a Hare Krishna was that he's the most peaceful, happy person I ever met in my life. And I thought, oh my God, I want to be like that, because I was so stressed and so much anxiety and everything as a full-on materialist. And I had definitely experienced that path was just leading to so much anxiety and fear and so much. And then I met this guy. He was just, I didn't know what he was doing, but I could just see that he was so peaceful and so free from anxiety and so happy. And I thought, I don't know what he's doing, but I want to be like that. I do what he's, so, and that's what led me on. Just that's where my faith started, that I want this out. Okay, he's so happy and he's chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, maybe it's coming from that. Let me chant Hare Krishna, and I put it to the test and I found, that's where it's coming from. You just gotta
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, that's so true. I mean, and the people who are already doing that probably they have kind of energy as well. I mean, I think they have. If you're near them or something, you can get some kind of a you know um, idea like that. And I think, as you said, I was also like a bit skeptic at the start, and then said, why do they chanting? And let me try. Why yeah, as you said, and then slowly, I mean, a little bit, I think I've realized something, and then that's what is keeping. And he's saying, and this is a personal journey, as you said, you have to experiment yourself. I cannot do it for you, or I cannot do it for the other person. You have to do it yourself to realize it, to
Yeah,
find out the truth. So you have to find your own truth,
yeah.
basically. Somebody can help you with the knowledge, but you have to find it yourself. That's realization. Yeah, that's so. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just getting the right knowledge is very. Yeah, that's where most of the people are not going the wrong way of solving the problem, creating more problems. I think solving material problem with a material solution.
Yeah,
So,
just creates more problems, and we see
yeah,
that.
yeah, we
Like
can see that.
this COVID, okay, we're going to try to solve this COVID, and then we come up with a vaccine. But now there's a whole lot of problems coming from the vaccine. Now
Mm.
getting sick and even dying from the vaccine. So before we had people dying from the virus, now we've got people still dying from the virus and also dying from the vaccine or getting some, severe medical problem from the vaccine. Another way we try to solve the virus is put people on the oxygen
Mm.
ventilator, and now there's a disease that's come from the ventilator, that black fungus.
Oh, yeah.
Before we had a virus disease, now we've got the virus plus we've got a fungus
Um,
disease. So like that. So solving a problem, we create 2 more, 3 more, 5, 10, 20. It's unlimited.
you
You
look at everything, all the whole world has problem, the greenhouse gases and all everything. I mean, if you look at that, there's got repercussions, and we are eating, processed food. Used to eat fresh food. Maybe we are getting, quick food, and then it's just making us sick, creating cancer and other stuff and other stuff. So basically, if we don't understand that material problem cannot be solved by material solutions, you have to be spiritual. You have to have the right knowledge, and we are going wrong way. That's the thing. That's what I think.
and then
That's
the question would be, well, people might say, well, what is your guys' solution to the virus? And we do have a solution. And the solution is we should follow the process to take the soul out of the material world, to liberate the soul, to free the soul from the material world. That's our solution to the virus and the fungus and every problem, the same solution. That as long as we're in the material world, we have to suffer. So the solution is to get out of the material world, not to try to make the material world a better place
mm,
or try to remove the suffering from the material world, but to remove the soul from the material world. So you can't remove the suffering from the material world. That's the way it's set up. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi. The solution is not to remove these problems from the world. The solution is to remove the soul from this. And then the question is, well, how the hell do you do that? And that is through this process of changing the consciousness. And then if we change the consciousness, and then at the time when the body dies, which of course we can't stop that either. So the body will die, it's inevitable. But if we change the consciousness at the time of death, the spiritual consciousness, then the soul will be transferred to the spiritual world, where there is no birth, old age, disease, and death. It won't have to reincarnate, won't have to come back to the material world. So that is the Vedic process.
Do you think, I mean, yeah, in terms of, we are here to re-qualify for, for being pure, being spiritual, as you said, getting away from this material world. We are here to re-qualify or something. This world is basically, do you think it's like you are here because you have lost your qualification, you have to get it again? You have to qualify yourself again to be pure soul, kind of thing. So, I mean, I think the second verse is quite apt in saying that half of the problem is when you say, I'm in control, plus as well as I'm taking more than what I need. All the fightings are all about what? You are basically saying, this is mine, this is yours. You just need to maintain your body, which is very basic stuff. If everything is taken away and you just rely on the basic stuff, don't fight for anything. As you said, or as God says, He provides everyone. You don't have to. But what we have created is, this is mine, this is yours, this is. I mean, we have actually created a vicious cycle which has come into a kind of a messy net. I think that's what it is. We have gone material solving, as you said. It's a chain effect. Material problem solving. You are creating this. Keep creating. It's kind of, it's a disease, I think, and I mean it's very difficult to cure, I think. But as you said, Kali Yuga, age of Kali and Quarrel. I think probably that's the last. After that, it'll finish. But do you think there's a possibility that we will fix everything by, beings say everything becomes spiritual? Will it become a Satyuga? I don't know. It's
No, Satyuga will come in due course of time. That's a cycle. Time goes in cycles, but that's this Kali Yuga has another 427,000 years. So you don't want to stick around for that.
Yeah, I mean, even if, so are we meant to be like that, or is there a possibility that somehow?
No. Like I said, everyone has free choice. And if you're going to misuse the free choice, then you have to get the consequences or the reaction of that. So Kali Yuga is for those that have misused their free choice in the past. They didn't want to surrender to God. They didn't want to serve God, love God like that. They want to do whatever they want without any rules. I mean, like a sense that, you can do whatever you like. I can eat what I like, have sex what I like, do whatever I like. And therefore Kali Yuga is the place for souls like that are rebelled against the laws of God. And so God is giving us an opportunity to get what we desired, and this is the age that we live in. So we got what we wanted, then don't complain,
Yeah, that's right.
Wanted freedom to do anything you wanted, because in like Satya Yuga, you have to strictly follow all the Dharma. You have to follow Dharma. Satyam, you have to be truthful in Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga. Everyone is truthful in Satya Yuga. And tapasya, in Satya Yuga, everyone doing tapasya, austerities. And Solcham, cleanliness. Everyone is clean, taking bath 3 times a day, and outside clean, inside clean. They're chanting mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And for their whole life, being internally clean. And then, what's the other quality? Karunaya or kripa, very merciful, very merciful. Like they're not killing animals. They're all just eating fruits and berries, and they're no violence, no violence. They're all very kind and merciful. So these are the characteristics of the souls in the Satya Yuga. But in Kali Yuga, if the souls want to just kill everything and eat everything and sex with everyone and drink every liquor and everything, well, this is, if you have those desires, then we're taking birth in the Kali Yuga. This is, and God is giving opportunities for everyone according to whatever you want, like that. So, and then if the soul develops love for God, then you get that too. You can go to Vaikuntha and don't come back. But we can't stop. We can't stop the effects of the Kali Yuga. Not possible. If we want to make this world into the spiritual world, not possible. But the best thing is that we should get out of here and go to the spiritual world. Don't try to bring the spiritual world to here, but go to the spiritual world. Of course, if you do surrender to Krishna and take the Krishna consciousness even right now, you create like a spiritual bubble around yourself. And many people notice that with Prabhupada, that when the devotees would go near to Prabhupada, they felt like they were in Vaikuntha, like they were in the spiritual world.
Yeah.
It's like they said, like we're talking about anxiety now, I said that like there was no anxiety. When you came like in the room with Prabhupada, it was like there was no anxieties. It was just like, because that's what Vaikuntha means. Vaikuntha means, Kunta means anxiety.
Yeah.
Vaikuntha means without
anxiety.
That's one of the main characteristics between what is the spiritual world, what is the material world. Material is a place that's full of anxieties, kunta, and the spiritual world is without any anxieties. So, but Prabhupada had that in the material world because he was always thinking about Krishna, talking about Krishna, remembering Krishna, working for Krishna, serving Krishna. So it was like he had the spiritual world around him.
He was so pure that there was a bubble, the power. Yeah. So well, that's what I've heard. People who are really pure, very close to God, they have kind of an aura. So if you go close to them, there's a different energy. And as you said, and then people feel really good about it. So
How it is possible.
Yeah, how is this possible? I mean, this just. But I think the good part is we still had there are pointers, or there are ways where you can do it right individually. You may not control the whole world in Kali, but you can individually progress, and people around you, you can help them.
And you can affect people around you, like I said, Prabhupada, and that's what because Prabhupada is affected. Prabhupada is one, and they me. I didn't directly meet Prabhupada, but I affected by someone that Prabhupada affected. Like that way. So you can do something to improve the world, and we should. We should. Don't think that you are going to be able to, stop all the miseries of this material world. That's not possible. That's an illusion. That's an illusion,
I think everyone focuses on themselves, then everything will be good, right? I mean, individually, if everyone goes good. So your first responsibility is, first yourself, ourselves.
Start with ourselves.
Start with ourselves.
I don't want to take your time up too much.
Oh, yes, too much time. Thank you very much.